Your fingerprints were found at a crime scene in 1987, the detective said. I was born in 1995. I stared at Detective Ramos across the metal table in the interrogation room, my hands shaking. That's impossible. I wasn't even alive in 1987. He slid a photograph toward me, showing a bloodied kitchen and a woman's body. Triple homicide, cold case. Your prints were on the murder weapon. My stomach dropped. You need to run those prints again because I'm 29 years old. I literally did not exist in 1987. Ramos leaned back and crossed his arms. We ran them 3 times. Perfect match. 16 points of identification. That's your thumbprint on a knife that killed 3 people. I felt like I was losing my mind. This has to be a mistake. Test my DNA. Check my birth certificate. Do whatever you need to do to prove I wasn't born yet. He pulled out another folder. We already checked. Birth certificate says you were born in 1995 at County General, but fingerprints don't lie. My lawyer arrived 20 minutes later and demanded they release me. This is insane. My client has an alibi for 1987 called not being born yet, but Ramos wouldn't budge. We're holding him for 72 hours while we investigate. I spent that night in a cell trying to figure out how my fingerprints could be at a crime scene 8 years before I was born. My mom visited the next morning looking terrified. Mom, what's happening? How is this possible? She wouldn't meet my eyes. I need to tell you something I should have told you years ago. My blood went cold. What are you talking about? She started crying. You weren't born in 1995. Your birth certificate is fake. The room started spinning. What? You were born in 1979. You're 45 years old. I laughed because it was too insane to be real. Mom, look at me. I'm 29. I look 29. How could I possibly be 45? She pulled out an old photograph showing a teenage boy who looked exactly like me. This is you at 16 in 1995, the year we told you that you were born. I grabbed the photo with trembling hands. The kid in the picture was identical to my high school photos. We gave you a new identity after the accident, she whispered. What accident? You were in a car crash when you were 16. Severe head trauma. You lost all your memories. The doctors said you had the cognitive function of an infant. She was sobbing now. We had a choice. Tell you that you were 16 and let you live knowing everything you lost, or give you a fresh start. I felt sick. So you faked my birth certificate and raised me like a baby? You had to relearn everything. Walking, talking, reading. It took years. By the time you were functioning normally again, you believed you were 8 years old because that's how old you acted. My hands were shaking so hard I dropped the photograph. The crime scene, I whispered. Was I there? Mom's face crumpled. You lived in that house. That woman was your girlfriend. The other 2 victims were her parents. Everything stopped. Did I kill them? No! She grabbed my hands. The real killer confessed 2 years later. You were cleared, but by then, you didn't remember any of it, and we decided to keep it that way. Detective Ramos walked in holding new files. We contacted the original investigators. They confirmed everything. The real killer is in prison. He uncuffed me. You're free to go. I walked out of that police station as a completely different person than when I walked in. My entire life was a lie. I wasn't 29. I was 45. I had lived an entire life I couldn't remember. I had loved someone who died violently. I had lost 16 years of memories, and my parents had built me a new existence from scratch. Mom drove me home in silence. Finally, she said, "We can tell you everything about your old life if you want. We have photos, videos, journals you wrote." I stared out the window. I don't know if I want to know. That's okay too, she said quietly. We just wanted to give you a chance to be happy again. 2 weeks later, I'm still processing. I found my old journals in my parents' attic. Read about a person I don't remember being. Saw photos of myself at 20, 25, 30. A whole life I lived but can't access. The detective closed the case officially. My fingerprints matched because they were my fingerprints, just from a life I don't remember living. I'm still deciding if I want to know more about who I used to be, or if I should just keep living as the person I've become.